If people meet certain conditions with training, education, things of that nature, promotions to a different title, they would be entitled to a raise as per our policies. So just don't hand out cash. That was done in the past year, and I stopped that practice when I became mayor. So if it doesn't fit the policy, as Ms. Milliken can tell you, it's not union negotiated or it's not the policy, we don't give out raises like that. So, but we have to work within that salary ordinance. Anything else on that you want to mention on that? So for the next meeting, we'll be presenting a salary ordinance for you to consider introduce.
So the one that was in our folder, is this a current one or is this the one that you want to do? Like,
This is
this actually the date from it from 2001?
That's just, we have to update that, so, but no, this would be the proposed one. We have to make some changes to it, like the PBA would come out of it as well, all the police.
Or this is the one that?
This is the proposed one, we just have to update it.
Can we get a copy of the current one then?
This is it. The dates are gonna say effective, it would take effect as of January 1, 2025.
But you want the one that's in place right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know me, I have to have a paper copy of everything else. Thank you.
You said that the police have to come out of it?
I would take the police out because their
but
salaries
you're
haven't
left in
been
the contract.
established. Their salaries as they are right now in the current ordinance are correct. So we haven't negotiated their contracts, so those would be removed and they would get one.
So their part would be the same as the existing contract.
They are the existing,
Until next year.
what's in the existing ordinance right now is theirs, yes.
And Meg, you said 2.5%, but that's just there's other, not 2.5.
It was 2.25 for 2025, 2026, and then 2.5 for 2027 and 2028.
But there's step guides and stuff that take it, put it higher than 2.2.
Not much, but they have the step guide as part of their contract, so, like, those were the raises agreed to.
So maybe if before the next meeting, Mrs. Garuda was asking for the current, what we're working under now, as far as the current, we could have to change the date, I guess, on the one that you gave us.
Right, this is just a proposal.
2021. And if we could get the current one, if she wants to compare the current one with the new proposed one, and also I guess the step, what would come in handy would be the step guide, part of that. That would give you a better picture than just looking at 2.5, because I don't think that's going to correlate to what the increases are projected at. So we have the step guide with the positions. It will help to make it a little bit clearer where it's coming from.
But the salary ordinance should include, that should capture that. Right?
It does.
Yeah. So they're still working within that range within the guide, regardless of step guide and or percentage raise based on the base salary.
That's why we base the maximum rate.
But it's still, for most of the positions, going to be over 2.5 because of the step guide. It will help to clarify why the increases are high. If you're just looking at 2.5 and projecting it out, I don't think that's what you're going to see. I don't think with the step guide.
We'll take a look.
Any other questions, comments? No. Okay. Next we have the Illinois Township conflict in police and mental health.
So this is a memorandum of understanding. It's regarding the program Arrive, and the captain's here and he can speak to it as well. But it's it's something all the townships in Morris County are participating in. And it's basically when there's a behavioral crisis, that these people can come out and go to the site. They'll actually have somebody here, what is it,
Once a week, we will have a professional behavioral clinician here in our police department that
So it goes
Can-
along with what you were talking.
can respond. We did, Mr. Dunn spoke earlier about those 3 incidents that we had. And maybe this person could have gone out there for either a welfare check, or if we had a call for service where someone was intoxicated or suicidal. We have this person on hand that we can send out, as long as it's safe, obviously, and they can speak to this person, offer counseling, offer services. This is something that was really started with the state of New Jersey, and it trickled down to the prosecutor's office, and with our agency and some of the surrounding agencies. Each town is going to host this clinician in their town 1 day a week, but we can share. So if one day they're in Rockaway or Wharton, and if they don't have anything going on and we need them, we would just call over to Wharton and we could borrow the same clinician. So it's I think
It partners a mental health professional with a police officer.
Right.
Which, listen, police officer has a lot of tools in their toolkit. Then we get training in mental health, but that's not our specialty.
This is a professional.
So it's a great program. I think it's going to do a lot of good for, mental health is it. I mean, you can tie back just about anything you're dealing with mental health. Addiction, mental health, crime, a lot of cases, mental health. It's what we deal with on a routine, regular basis.
So, we heard before, in the course of 2 days here in Jefferson, three tragic events. So if we're looking at a person being available once a week, there might be a time where the guy might be here, then the next day there's 3 instances that don't fit into him coming the next following week.
Well, even if that person's not physically in our town, even if they're in Wharton or Rockaway or Roxbury that day, we can still call over to them and say, hey, are you available? Can you come over here? We have a situation. And they'll be able to come over.
It's meant to be like a share. Like we're the host for the day. But let's say Wharton needs that clinician at that time. It would be dispatched from here and go to Wharton. Same thing when they're in Rockaway and we need them here, right?
Because a lot of times what we have to do is if we need someone, we have to call St. Clair's. So we'll have to call St. Clair's and say, hey, is there a screener available to come out and speak to this person? Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Even if so, they're coming from Denver. So now this person will be a little bit closer, or maybe even on hand if we need them.
Now, all the court cases are still telemarketing, basically, judge and stuff, right? Will there be an instance where that could be available like instantaneously, where like a Zoom or a type of Cisco or something for immediate assistance? Obviously during COVID.
Yeah, they're talking more in person right now.
Personally, it's definitely by far the best.
We have called in certain instances and had the screener talk to the person over the phone. I don't think we've done anything virtually, but I think what this has really triggered is to have that person readily available, to respond quickly.
Comments?
Oh, I read through it. I thought it was actually very cool. And that's what my question was, is how do you do a shared service? So we 5 towns if we get them once a week?
It's a shared service with the
run through
mental
the
health.
county.
Yeah, it's a shared service with the Mental Health Association.
It's very cool. And I like how there's a backup plan for the individual, for the council.
It's a good thing.
Do we have any administrators?
Madam Administrator, you're up.
Sure. I just wanted to address the one comment regarding the painting resolution that we had. We did get 2 quotes for the painting, and this was something that was budgeted in, I believe it was 2023, 2024. We're going to repair or replace the flooring in here, the carpets, which we already awarded, I believe it was the end of last year, and then it included doing the hallway, the foyer, not the records area, but the
Foyer next door.
reception, the
Court hallway.
court hallway, and then all of our hallways going down. So the breakdown was for the records foyer, which is right here, was $2,950. For the front entrance reception area and info center was $3,200, and the main corridor, which is all of our hallways, doing the, whatever you call it, the fork, or I guess, yeah, it looks like more like an
Main
S, I
hallways.
guess, or whatever, the main hallways is $11,940. So that's, just so you understand, but it was money that was budgeted and we're using the capital account for that. I attended the Memorial Day Parade on May 26th. Always a great tribute to the memory of those servicemen and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Fire and Safety has advised that the new mid-mount ladder truck will be delivered on Monday, June 9th at 7 p.m. at the company #1 firehouse. And they extend an invite to all of the council. So I will plan to be there, and I believe.
Went down in August.
Yeah, I don't know.
August 16th.
August 16th.
Right.
Paving bids were received this morning for the various road paving projects for this year. There were 8 bids received. We're reviewing them and we'll have on for the next meeting, the next award for the bids. The lowest bidder's price for asphalt per ton for this bid was $63 a ton. So it definitely went down a bit more than it was last year. So that's some good news. So
Very good prices on
yep.
paving.
I think the low bidder was about 1.2 million.
And
so.
quite a number of towns have just finished their budgets like the end of
Why I tell you every year about getting it done early, so we're first out to do bids.
the price of oil is like way down overall, so.
That's the reason I push to get budget done early.
So that's why I wanted to just let the council know that we got some really good bids in. I met with Ursula and our engineers with the water and sewer site H2M. Since the township received the draft administrative consent order with NJDEP, this is related to our PFAS issue with the Moosepack wells, because we have to put those
And all the
filters in place.
notices we have to continually send out.
So
for
we
no
are
reason.
in the process of negotiating that ACO. Ursula, after we met with H2M, we have to update the schedule and some other items. There's some questions. Ursula will be drafting a response to NJDEP on the township's behalf. Once we have the final version, we will review with the township council prior to any action. I attended the historic grants presentation held on Monday night at the Morris County Historic Preservation Program, and we presented both the Chamberlain House and the Camp Jefferson projects. So we're hoping that we'll get some sort of information on what type of grants we'll be getting through Morris County Historic
Was
Preservation.
that in person or virtual?
It was in person. I was down in Morristown. And we will hopefully hear within the next several weeks what type of funding we'll be getting. So that was exciting. And I will be participating in the CFO roundtable that Mishwachia holds periodically for CEUs. On Friday, I will be presenting with John Reinhardt our SWOT analysis